Hey, and welcome to the MMA podcast, episode 3. I know that I haven't, episode 4, I think, maybe. I don't remember the episode. Sorry, guys. I'll get updates on for the next one. Been a while since I posted. I know I've been at least a good 6-7 months without having posted nothing. Been going through a lot. Been training myself in MMA. Started training MMA. Just getting back, healing a foot. So I'll be starting after Christmas, restarting training, but I want to start posting a lot of content on my MMA podcast. I'll be trying to get another cell phone where I could put a messenger on, Messenger Facebook, where I could call one of my friends that will be assisting me in audio for some of my podcasts. We'll be checking together on what subjects we'll be talking about. So tonight we'll be talking about UFC 296, guys. What a card it was, from Fight Pass prelim to prelims to main card to some spectacular and some horrific and nasty finishes. So to start, Gaziev that gave Budaj his first KO loss. It's nothing spectacular. He finished him, TKO win. But Budaj had never got finished by knockout or TKO, so it was his first TKO loss. So Gaziev was always on the pressure, always pushing forward, always pushing Budaj to the fence, always landing good strikes, always in his face, putting on a good pace. So Budaj couldn't do nothing but back up and eat the shots. And after a while, the referee saw enough. So that's pretty much all I had to say on that fight. It was not bad, but it wasn't spectacular. In the second fight, Fili with a massive, nice knockout on Almeida. He put Almeida's lights out, guys. It was awesome. But it was spectacular. Fili's always that guy. He's like the gatekeeper at his weight class. Everybody thinks they could pass him, but till you eat his power. He's been there for a while. He's been in the UFC for a long time, and no, he'll win, lose. He doesn't have the best record. He has a win-lose record, but he doesn't have a lot. No, he wins one, loses one or two. No, wins one or two, wins 3 in a row, loses one. It's on and off. But Fili with an awesome KO yesterday, Saturday night. It was awesome. It was epic, guys. He put the pressure. He was pushing the pressure all the fight, and then he landed that one right hand who put Almeida on his ass, and then won by TKO. It was an awesome fight. And third fight of the night, Tagir, that with a second round submission over Durden. Tagir was really good. Durden was taking him down, but Tagir was able to secure a submission win over him, so it wasn't too bad. Lipski versus O'Neal was a pretty decent first round, on and off both sides. And then Lipski ends up getting O'Neal into a submission in second round, and she wins by submission. So all the first fights were a lot of finishes. Gaziev with the KO, Fili with the KO, Tagir and Lipski with the submissions. She was awesome. It was an awesome Fight Pass prelims, and Lipski opens up the prelims with an awesome submission win the second round. It was pretty awesome. I had Lipski in my heart winning, so it was pretty good. Cody No Love is back, guys. His performance Saturday was I think it felt like the performance of the Cody, maybe not 100%, because some people could say, no, Kevin, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same as the Cody who fought Dominic Cruz. But I find his movement was there. Like when he had the movement versus Dominic Cruz. I think with the new training camp, the last fight, he was more defense. He was backing up. He landed a few shots. He won by decision. It was, I think it was more securing, more coming back to his old self, not the emotional Cody. I think his new teams, his new training partners, his new team, the new people helping him out are pushing Cody to be the Cody he was before the TJ Dillashaw drama, where he got so emotional in the first fight, got knocked out, too emotional in the second fight, got knocked out, and then after that he was just an emotional wrecking ball. So every fight he'd get in, the minute somebody would want to brawl, instead of being a smart Cody and moving out the way with his nice You know, Cody has all the skills, but he wasn't using him because he was getting too emotional. So when he fought, Pedro Munoz got knocked out, Rob Font got beat, Kai Kara-France got beat. You know, those guys decided to go to war with him, and instead of him using his nice movement, his abilities that he used versus Cruz, he got emotional right off to go in a slugfest, and that's when he lost. And then his last fight, guys, he was like he was too much on the defense, maybe not pushing enough, maybe not. No, best defense is offense. So, you know, when you defend, it's because you're throwing the offense. You wait till the guy throws, you throw your offense. But Cody was really backing up, moving out too much out of the way, and he was landing 1-2 strikes. Yes, he wasn't getting touched, but it wasn't like it wasn't masterclass like Cody versus Cruz, Cody versus all the guys he fought before Cruz. But last Saturday night was epic versus Kellner. He put on his defense. He had nice foot movement going left and right like he did versus Cruz. He landed a lot of shots, a lot of good shots. Then landed that big right bomb, bam. Then Keller came forward. He backed up, had a nice foot movement. But minute Keller start thinking about going back, Cody came frontwards and landed a big bomb that put him out. Kind of bomb that he landed on Dominic Cruz and put Keller right out. So I find it was a good 85-90% that Cody was saw versus Cruz. So if the new team's helping him out, we can get now he's calling out Deiveson Figueiredo. Probably would be a good war, but Cody's needs to stay smart. His team needs to continue motivating him to not stay emotional because, I mean, Deiveson is a guy who's going to want to brawl, is going to want to throw hands because Deiveson hits like a truck. But Cody needs to stay smart, have the good movement he had versus Dominic Cruz, and get out of the way, slip out of the way, and land his nice 1-2s till he gets the perfect shot to land his nice right hand on Figueiredo, and maybe he can knock out Figueiredo. If he knocks out Figueiredo, he's starting to get back in the line of being in the contenders spot. You know, I loved Cody before he got too emotional and before his loss. I still like him, but I was like losing interest in him since the change of camp. I find that maybe we're getting a good Cody Garbrandt, the Cody Garbrandt we actually want back. You know, the Cody we all loved, even if his name is No Love. We all loved him. We all loved that Cody who dominated Dominic Cruz for 5 goddamn rounds. Like, he could have finished Dominic when he rocked him. That shot, he moved out of the way and slipped and gave a nice right shot around the jaw. Dominic dropped, and he told Dominic to get back up. Dominic was so rocked. I think if he would have got on top with his grappling, he probably could have finished him, but he didn't. He wanted to play around. He wanted to show Dominic that he could play his game, go through 5 rounds and beat him. And he won all those 5 rounds. So I think, in my opinion, maybe it would be good for him to keep on with that team, keep on staying motivated. His team's got to keep on getting out of his head that, Cody, you got to stay focused. Don't jump in their game. Play your game, your movements. His boxing movements and his defense movements are skillful. It's just he's got to stay out of the emotional status of when the guy wants to brawl. He's got to just move out of the way and play it smart and not jump into his game, because when he jumps into his game, that's when he gets emotional, jumps into the game, and then does a wrong movement that ends up he eats a heavy shot that puts his lights out. So, my opinion, Cody, stay with the team you are, guy. That was an excellent performance Saturday, and I'm happy if you're getting better and you get back to the Dominic Cruz performance. Maybe you can get back to that title contention, maybe a title shot. But first, let's see if you could get the Deiveson Figueiredo fight. If you get that, you win that fight good. You keep climbing up the ladder. I want to see Cody get back up in the top 10 of that division. It'd be awesome. I'd be really proud of him. Aldana and Rosa. That fight, guys, was epic. I mean, Rosa in the first round landed those vicious calf kicks. I mean, Aldana's leg after that first round was beaten. And I was thinking, oh my God, Rosa's maybe going to end it with leg kicks at the style Edson Barboza and Jose Aldo kind of finish. She was landing, and that getting the second round, guys, it was epic. Aldana got into close boxing range, start laying some vicious shots on Rosa. I mean, she beat Rosa up pretty bad in that second round. Then it was 1-1. I was really fucking hyped. I was on my couch. I was like, oh my fucking god, that third round's gonna be massive. It's 1-1. That fight was brutal. I mean, both sides, that third round, they were throwing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was crazy. Both girls with, I mean, bloody faces. It was epic. It was a nice fucking 3 rounds. I think it was probably the best female fight of the year of 2023. I think they should be winning the fight of the year on the women's side. It should be Aldana versus Rosa, because that fight was wild from A to Z. From A to Z, that fight was a wild fight, really brutal fight. But it was awesome, guys. I loved the fight. It was awesome. It was epic. They pushed the pace. They did everything they had to do. But at the end, Aldana picks up the decision. 29-28 decision. It was really close. Aldana just outscored her a bit in the third round. They gave her third round. The second and third round. Second round was all Aldana. Third round was tight, but Aldana pulled off the win, guys. So it was pretty epic. And the next fight was Minifield versus Jacoby. That was an awesome fight too, guys. That was maybe not as epic as Rosa and Aldana. It was still really good. They pushed the pressure. They did what they had to do. Minifield dropped him, I think, in the first round. First round was on and off. I think Jacoby won that first round by a bit. And then Minifield in the second round, I think, dropped him twice and rocked him a third time, won that second round. Third round was back and forth, back and forth. What won Minifield the third round was at the end, because it was so close in the scorecards, so close in the strikes. They were going, no. Minifield's pushing him back. Jacoby was pushing him back and forth, back and forth. It's that last punch when Jacoby came in, and Minifield at the last minute of the round landed a vicious right hand. It dropped Jacoby really bad. Then he was hitting Jacoby bad. That's what won him that third round. It was an awesome fight. Good decision. Well, a tight decision. It could have been either way. It was a good fight. It's not a fight where you were sitting on your couch like it's a boring decision. They were both fighting. There's no striking. It's a stand-up fight. They were both punching the shit out of each other. But Jacoby ate some vicious. I mean, Jacoby is one tough man. He ate so much heavy shots that dropped him. And I thought, like, there's a few shots that when he ate him and he fell on his back, I'm like, it's finished. But no, he stood back up. He did his things. And he won the fight. So, and he got back up. He didn't win the fight, but I mean, he still did good. I mean, that was the end of the prelims. That was the featured prelim. Prelims in the Fight Pass prelims were awesome. Almost all finishes. There's a few. There's just three decisions. Yeah, then 2 decisions and 3 decisions. Anyways, it was awesome, guys. I loved it. It was pretty cool. Starting the main card. That main card starter was the most nastiest KO. I mean, I saw a lot of knockouts that were brutal, guys. Brutal. But nasty. That was nasty. Josh Emmett versus Bryce Mitchell. I thought that fight would go at least 2-3 rounds. To the second or third. If it was a finish and a second and the beginning of third, something like that, you know. I thought Bryce would maybe get a takedown or 2 on Emmett, but I mean, first round knockout by Josh Emmett. That was nasty. My heart never stops that fast when I see a guy get knocked out, but that was one vicious knockout, guys. I mean, when he nailed him, he dropped sideways. I mean, sideways. And the guy started convulsing, man. That's how hard Emmett hit him. Emmett hit him so goddamn brutally with that knockout that Bryce Mitchell fell in convulsion. And I mean, it took him, 10-15 minutes before he was able to even start standing up. He stood up, he was wobbling on his legs. Even Daniel Cormier and Joe Rogan's like, sit him down, give the guy a bench, sit him on the bench, don't let him stand up. The guy's knees are still not there. I mean, his head was maybe back awake. The higher part of his body was maybe awake, but his knees were still not all there. They were still sleeping somewhere. I mean, It was bad, guys. If you guys need to see it, go see Josh Emmett KO Bryce Mitchell on TikTok, on YouTube. It was, I mean, brutal. I mean, Francis Ngannou's KO, Stipe on KO on Overeem were bad. I mean, there's some head kicks. Leon Edwards on Kamaru Usman, head kick, bad. I mean, that was nasty. That was one of the worst KOs I saw in my entire life. That was brutal, very, very brutal. But Josh Emmett picks up the win, stays in the top. I like to see him maybe rematch Yair Rodriguez. No, get his grappling back. No, fix what he lost with against Yair. Stand up, it was going pretty well for him till he got put down and submitted. So just fix your little what he has to fix and get a rematch versus, there's Yair, there's Emmett versus Holloway again. Emmett, there's he's his sixth. There's 4 more guys in front of you besides Topuria getting Volkanovski. There's 4 more guys in front of you. Get one of those. Get a rematches of the guys you fought or the guys you didn't fight in the top 4 guys that left. Fight those guys. Your number 6. Fight number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2. Because Ilya's number 1 right now, going to fight Volkanovski. This guy's going to be a hell of a fight in February, guys. And I mean, brutal. But Josh Emmett, man, that was scary. I never been scared of a KO. That guy's was scary. Paddy beats Paddy to Paddy Pimblett with a decision victory over Tony Ferguson. I love Tony. I love Tony when he's on his streak of 12 wins. But we get at a point where you see the brain damage the guy got. Like, the guy's been brutalized a lot, man. You could see just the way he talks on the mic that sometimes you're watching, you're like, what is he trying to say? Like, the guy don't make no sense. On a 7-fight losing streak, he's tied. You know what? He gets another fight, then his new record is he was one of the longest active win streaks in the lightweight division to now the longest. If he loses another, Dana wants him to retire, but if Dana decides to give him another fight, he loses that one. 8-fight win streak. He's going to be the longest losing streak in UFC history at number 1. Like, I know that no matter what, Dana won't stop a guy from fighting. I know he really wants, like, when they were asked at the conference, on the post-fight conference, if Tony wants another fight, would you give it to him? He said, the only thing I want to tell Tony right now is that I really want him to retire. But in my opinion, as the boss, and I love Tony. I mean, I love Tony, and I know that maybe it don't work that way. But if I was the boss, I'd tell him, look, you got 1-2 fights left to your contract. I'll pay you those fights, but I don't want you to fight. You retire from the UFC. You get your retirement funds. You get everything, and you get those two last fights gave him, $800,000. Give him Dana. Just give him the $800,000. If there's something, give him $1 million just to make sure. Give him $200,000 more, so he fucking retires. Say, look, you're supposed to make $800,000 the last 2 fights. I wasn't gonna re-sign you. I'm gonna give you $1 million if you retire right now, or I'll just fire you, or you release them. You're like Dana White released some guys that had 4-fight contracts. They lost the 3 first fights and got released. If he has a fight or 2 left, Dana, don't let the Tony fans suffer more. Like, I mean Tony, he's good, but he's eating too much damage. Like Paddy, and yeah, okay, Paddy didn't have his best performance either. I found Paddy seemed gassed in the 2nd round and was over gassed in the 3rd round, but was able to put him down and keep him down. I mean, the old Tony, the one a 12-fight win streak, maybe would have got dropped in that 1st round, but the minute Paddy would have been tired in the 2nd round, put him down, and Paddy did some errors there that could have been easily submitted. But Tony wasn't doing it perfectly. The old Tony would have probably submitted him in the 2nd round or 3rd round. And I love Paddy, but I mean, that's not the performance of a top guy. I mean, like, that guy was a top guy, a double champ in Cage Warriors. Conor was double champ. Conor's great performances. A lot of the guys from Cage Warriors came to UFC and had great performances, but I don't know. I think it's Tony. It's time for Tony to retire. I need Paddy needs to go with Goggins to get a little bit more cardio done. But I love Paddy. I love the Paddy Pimblett. The guy's awesome. The guy in my opinion. There's some shots in that first round. Maybe that fight could have been stopped, and I'm pretty sure that the people would not have been upset either. Because Tony was eating lots of damage in that first round on the ground. Could have been finished because Tony was not defending in the first round. He was just eating those shots. Second round, he landed some good elbows from the bottom. But in my opinion, Tony, you're on a 7-fight win streak. Give the fans something to be happy with and retire. You've done a lot for the sport. You were 12-fight win streak. You beat some of the biggest dogs, one of the biggest names in the lightweight division in that time. You know, you lost to Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje was just starting to be in that top guys. You beat all those top guys. Those Kevin Lee was in the top. Edson Barboza was in the top. Cerrone was a guy in the top. RDA was in the top of the division for a long time. You beat those guys up bad. You broke them, but I think you're at a place where you should listen to Dana. Maybe hit the retirement button, hang up the gloves, take the money that's left, and just live your life, buddy. Because it just hurts everybody to see you like that. That's it. So Paddy didn't have his best performance. Like round 1 was all Paddy. Was good Paddy. Paddy was great. Second round was a little less great, but you know he went a lot with his grappling. He was landing some ground and pound. It wasn't too bad. And last minute second, it was pretty bad. A third round, he was eating those shots. You could see he was tired in the third round until he landed that takedown and just was landing shots while Tony was just putting his knee in his throat. But that's it. Paddy needs to work his cardio. I think Paddy needs to wake up now and ask Uncle Dana for a guy between the ranked number 12 and 15 of the division. But I think Bobby Green's now ranked number 15 in the division. Fight Bobby Green. Paddy fights Bobby Green. If Paddy beats Bobby Green, you're number 15 in the ranking. Then you start going up. I think it's time for Paddy to go up. Like, you've been, 5 fights in the UFC, 5 unranked guys. There's a lot of guys that come in, they fight 1 or 2 unranked guys. At the third fight, they're fighting the number 15 rank. If they won, like if they're on a winning streak like Paddy was, submitting and knocking people out, those guys go down fast, 15, 14, 13, you know. They go down fast, and Paddy fight 5 unranked guys. I think it's time for him to fight. I think Bobby Green's number 15 in the ranking, 14 or 15. Fight Bobby Green. When Bobby Green is able to fight Bobby Green versus Paddy Pimblett. If Paddy wins, you're in the rankings of top 15. Then fight a guy a rank or 2 lower than you. You beat him and start going down. And maybe you should go work with Goggins on that cardio. Get that cardio. Because no matter what, Tony had a good cardio this weekend. Rakhmonov. Rakhmonov, the first ever man to submit Wonderboy Thompson. Shavkat Rakhmonov is a beast. The guy has 18 now after Saturday, after the win the win he got over Wonderboy. 18 wins, 18 finishes. The guy has 100% finish rate and he's undefeated. The guy's a beast. Knockouts, submissions. He submitted Jeff Neal standing up with a rear naked choke. He submitted Thompson, who fought some of the greatest good grapplers. I mean, he fought Burns. Burns couldn't finish him. He fought Bilal. Bilal could not finish him. I mean, he fought a lot of good names. I mean, Woodley, when Woodley was a good grappler, Woodley couldn't submit him. And I mean, Rakhmonov with the submission. That's why I'm starting to think that Rakhmonov's going to jump the line. I love Bilal. I think Bilal's deserving because of the win streak. He's deserving of the title fight for sure. But I mean, we all know Dana. We all know the UFC, the guys who fix the fights. Dana White said that when we go in the war room, we like to see the guys that get finishes, the guys who put a show. Like Colby Covington doesn't get a title fight just because he's winning decisions. It's because he puts a show, he puts a rampage. He'll beat the living crap out of you. He'll bust your whole fucking face. I mean, he'll use his grappling, put you down, but he'll land. He'll get back up, he'll land. I mean, Bilal is not bad, but it gets a little boring. Like, he puts you down, just keeps you there, lands just enough strikes to not be stood up for the 3 to 5 rounds. So, Dana sees that and sees the guys like Rachmanov, who's the guy's 18 wins, 18 finishes. He's finishing everybody in the division, just finished Wonder Boy. I'd be sad for Belal. I really want Belal versus Leon. I think Leon still wins that fight because that first fight, I think the first round was all Leon was winning that first round anyways. He didn't get taken down by Belal, and he was landing good strikes on Belal. I think he would have won that fight anyways. I think those two guys need to fight. Belal versus Leon. I think Leon wins that fight. And then maybe Rachmanov versus Chimaev. Since Chimaev I know he beat Usman at 185, but it's just because it was a last minute change up. If I remember right, yeah, a last minute change up. That's why it was at 185. If I remember right, if I remember right, I'm not sure, guys, so don't attack me on that. But I think Rachmanov might jump the line. But I think Belal versus him, and Rachmanov should fight a guy like Usman, Covington, or Chimaev next to get his title shot. I think, I don't even know, I'd have to check. I know Chimaev now is ranked in the top. He's going to fight, Chimaev's fighting Whitaker. I think he's fighting Whitaker next. Robert Whitaker next. If he wins that fight, he'll be guaranteed a title fight versus the winner of Dricus versus Sean Strickland. So I hope Khamzat wins, then we get the winner of Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland versus Chimaev at 185. But I think give Belal the fight. Colby wants Wonder Boy, so Usman versus Rachmanov. Winner gets the winner of Belal versus Leon. If Rachmanov submits or finishes Usman, you're sure 100% there's going to be a war, a nice fight, and Leon's going to have a lot of danger in his coming to him. And then sad for Ian Gary with this ammonia and stuff. There's some stuff that's been said that I don't think is true because of the fact that 2 days before that he was saying that he was scared of being in the United States with his family because of the drama with the ex being his nutritionist and living with them, and him taking her name that's actually the ex's name or whatever. It's a big shababble, and he would have said that he was scared to come to the United States with his family, and then 2 days later he can't show up to the press conference, can't make weight, can't make nothing because he has pneumonia. It might be true. There's a lot of rumors. I'll believe Ian because I love the guy. He's a great fighter. But at the end of this 296, I'm going to talk about what Dana White talked about too, and what I think about the fights coming in Miami. So that's it. So I think he's gonna, he's gonna pass Belal in the rankings just to get the title shot. I think they have Rachmanov. So co-main event: Pantoja versus Royval 2 for the undisputed flyweight title. Pantoja just showed he's superior. Royval had a great 5th round. The last round, I mean, he was before he got taken down, he was landing vicious shots. For a minute, I thought we were gonna see a Leon Edwards out of fucking Royval. I really thought Royval was gonna land a combinations, and then out of nowhere, a right hand's would have dropped Pantoja, and then boom, 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 those vicious forearms that he landed in his other in one of his last fights. They won by knockout, one of vicious strikes, but Pantoja was smart, got him down, kept him down. He dominated the grappling for 4 rounds. The first round was back and forth, but I think Pantoja still got it. Second round was pretty much the same thing, but I think Pantoja still pulled it off a bit. Third and fourth round was complete Pantoja. Yes, Royval tried a few submissions, couldn't get him through, but Pantoja dominated round 3 and 4 100%. Maybe could have been all 10-8 rounds. 5th round, like I said, Royval came out swinging, came out pushing the pace, came out landing some vicious shots, was able to counter the takedowns. I thought, okay, he's not getting taken down. This is the round. Royval's going to get it. I had Royval winning. I had Royval before the win. I thought he'd pull it off, and maybe we'd have another champion at that weight class. But shit happens. Royval took a bad step, and Pantoja took him down after not even half of the round, and kept him there for about two 2/3, 3/5 of a round maybe. 3 minutes, 2 minutes that he was getting out, landed on the stand up, and then he put him down, kept him down for the last 3 minutes, so he won in the round. So he won a complete decision. It was awesome. Pantoja's great. Pantoja's good. Now they're talking Moreno versus, I don't remember his name, guys. I'm very sorry. I should just check that too. Those two guys, Moreno versus the other guy, are fighting. I think it's a Russian guy. The winner of that one gets, Pantoja said, should be the next in line, and Dana White seemed to say it was the same thing too. And now, guys, the main event. I mean, Covington with the bad words he said. I mean, it's okay to trash talk. You can trash talk all you want. I'm fine with trash talking as long as there's limits to trash talking. You can go tell the guy he's a this and a that, but attacking a relative is already bad. But attacking a dead relative, and I don't care about the past of the relative. Even Dana said it was too much. Colby still stating he doesn't give a shit because Leon's dad killed some people and those families were. But Colby, come on, man, you're so into Trump that even a lot of people have been asking if you don't have a, you're talking all that gay shit about people being gay, people being gay, but man, you talk more about Donald Trump than you can talk about women. There's a problem to have as much of a want in Trump, man. I think for a minute, I think Colby's in love with Donald Trump, to be honest with you guys. You can't have an obsession with a guy that bad. It's bad. I mean, I like MMA, I like fighters, but I'm never going to obsess on one fighter more than any other fighters. I got so much fighters that I love. Yes, I have my goats. I'm from Canada, Quebec, Canada, so my goat of all time was George the Rush St. Pierre because he's a Quebecer, he's a Canadian, pure Quebec guy, and he's a champ. Like Olivier Mercier in PFL, I loved him in PFL because he's a Quebec guy and he won the title over there. Jordan in TKO was his fan because he was from Quebec, and the guy wins the TKO title. I'm still hoping that he has 2 years left, he's saying, before he calls it retirement. I hope he could get a title here in the UFC at 145. I hope he gets a chance. I hope he wins the title. I'd love him to win the title just before leaving. And if there's something, if it's his last fight, he wins the title, retires, at least our Quebec love's going to get there. You know what I mean? So, coming back to the main event, guys. Leon put on a showcase. I mean, the four first rounds, Leon was landing vicious. I mean, he was outclassing him. He's staying at distance, landing good leg kicks. And when Colby's coming in, he's landing good shots, good headshots, moving out of the way. Fifth round, he started good, landed leg kicks again, but he went grappling. He out-grappled him in third and fourth round. I give him that. He out-grappled Colby. I mean, when Colby put him down in fourth, he flipped it. He got up right off and flipped Colby on his back, kept him there for a longer time than he put Colby down a longer time than Colby put him down in the fourth round. So he won the 4 first rounds, no problem. I think he should have just stood up in the 5th round. Like in the first minute and a half, he was landing good shots, and then he decided to take him down, but he kind of lost balance, and Colby stayed on top for at least 3 minutes and a half, 3 minutes and a half of that round. And I won him the 5th round, but I mean, it was round 1, 2, 3, and 4 at all Leon's. Round 5 was Colby's and I don't think Leon really gave a shit about trying to get back up. Like, he could have got back up like he did in the 4th round and the 3rd round when he got right back up. He could have did that. Got up, pushed Colby away, land a few leg kicks again, get that round back. I'm pretty sure he could have won that round. But like I said, he did not win that round. So it was 4-1 for Leon, but he still gave a hell of a performance. Lots of people are saying Colby wasn't the same. Usually Colby pushes the pressure. Only thing that makes me laugh, I think Colby's got a lot of brain damage between those Usman fights too, and maybe a few shots that he ate off Masvidal when Masvidal rocked him a bit at one point in that 5-round fight. The only time that he got rocked, I think it rocked his brain pretty good. Because, I mean, the guy says he didn't get nothing. Like, he was perfect. He could have fought tomorrow morning. The only thing was wrong with him was ring rust. And then, it's not even a scratch. The guy says there's not even a scratch. The guy has a big cut on his nose. He's bleeding. His nose is bleeding like hell. The guy gets out of the arena. If you go check out my TikTok, KevinCastonga.com, the guy has 2 ice packs on his legs. Buddy, he fucked your legs up. He beat the shit out of you. The only thing you did was lie down on him, and he was holding you for 3 minutes of that last round, but he still, that first round, he beat your ass standing up bad. Every time you were coming in, he was getting you out, keeping you at range, kicking your legs out, beating the shit out of you. He out-grappled you in third and the fourth round. The only rounds you grappled with him a lot was round 3 and 4. He put you on your back, and he out-grappled you, almost submitted you in the fourth round. Fifth round, he fucked up, but instead of trying to get up, he didn't want to risk it, so he held you there. Yeah, maybe he could have got back up, in the last minute. Could have looked at the clock last minute, tried everything to get back up. So the last 4 or 5 seconds, he could have just threw everything at you. Leg kick, head kicks. He could have threw a lot because you weren't throwing a lot on the ground and pound. So just if you would have threw a lot standing up, quick, like a 10-12 shot standing up in the 4 or 5 seconds, he could have won that fight, that 5 completely, 5 rounds. But that's it. So another thing, guys, that was UFC 296. But I mean, nice fights, nice finish, some nice finishes, some very nasty. And Josh Emmett, I was scared, guys. Literally, I want to be an MMA fighter, and literally that made me shit myself almost yesterday. I was like, oh my god, it's not just a knockout. If he had sat back up, just not know where he was like some people does, but the guy literally was convulsing his legs and his arms. Doctors came in, he stopped convulsing. It took him about 10 minutes after the convulsions to get back to sit, and it took him about 5 to 10 minutes to sit up. Maybe 5 minutes to sit up, another 10 minutes to stand him up, and they should have never stood him up because his legs were all shaky. He couldn't walk. It looked like somebody had broke his 2 legs. So like the next day of a fight, when your legs have a big bump like that each side that you can't walk on, and the guy should have been sitting down for an extra like 10 minutes. They should have literally grabbed the wheelchair, sat him in it, or grabbed him in their arms, pull him out of the cage with a fucking wheelchair out of the cage, and drag his ass to the back, and then wait at least half an hour to let him stand up. But Bryce went to the hospital. Got not even half of the Dana White set of the main card was done. The fight after him, not even half that other fight after their fight, like Bryce, and then it was saying second round of Paddy versus Tony fight. Rachmanov versus Thompson fight. Half that second round of that fight, he was already cleared to get out of the hospital, so it wasn't too bad. But I mean, it was brutal on the spot. It was something brutal. So great news from Dana White, guys. There have been so much speculations on that fighter coming to the UFC. There was photos of him being on the war board in the war room. Speculations. And then after that, there was rumors about him signing with the PFL, signing a lot of other places, and we were all like depressed because we're like, that guy was so awesome in Bellator. We want him in the UFC. And so first fight in one of the fights in Miami, and it's gonna be a barn burner, guys. I cannot wait to see that fight. MVP versus Kevin Holland, and the card in Miami, guys. That's gonna be epic. Ian Gary versus Jeff Neal. And I forgot the other fights, guys. MVP Holland, Ian Gary versus Jeff Neal, Burns versus Della Mandela, and there's another fight I forgot, guys. I forgot that one. I'm probably gonna post another video just to come back on that, but that's gonna be awesome fights. But MVP, guys, there's another guy in his prime, maybe not today, that I would have liked when he was one of the greatest welterweights of all time in Bellator. I would have liked if the UFC could have made him, found a way to give him a contract. It was worth more than Bellator. I would have liked to see Douglas Lima in his big prime being in the UFC versus some of the best, like Robbie Lawler in that time, Woodley and all those guys. It would have been epic. I think today he's losing a bit of his pipe. He's going to be working with PFL right now. But when his contract's done with PFL, if Dana White can sign him to a 3-fight contract, let him fight 3 fights in UFC, maybe in the UFC he'll do good. He's a big name in the welterweight division he was a big name in the welterweight division of the Bellator. So yeah, guys, I'm sorry I forgot that last fight. That last fight is intriguing me. MVP versus Holland, Jeff Neal versus Gary, Burns versus Della. Guys, I really don't remember. But it was a big fight too. That's why it kind of nags me that I don't remember, guys. But it's a big fight too, guys. So go check on the post-fight press conference, Dana White's post-fight press conference of 296. You guys are gonna see exactly the four fights I'm talking about. And also the carnage. Last thing I'm gonna talk about, the carnage, guys. The carnage. I was wondering from the start. I was wondering from the start why Du Plessis and Sean Strickland were sitting one in front of the other, and then Du Plessis doing that and looking that and doing that and doing this. Du Plessis kind of looked for trouble, And then Strickland goes that, fakes shoot him. And then he looks at him. Du Plessis looks at him, starts looking for a fight. Tells him he wants to fight Sean. But at least Sean, no matter how psychopath he is in his head, and we saw how brutal, how that guy just says anything at the 2024 conference thing for UFC 297, 98, and 99 there. How he roasted, he was trying to roast Dricus with some stupid stuff. Dricus was coming back to some nasty shit. There's some nasty stuff said, and then Taxel says, everybody should love Brandon Vera, Chito Vera. I don't know what, he's a warrior, not like this fucking hype clown right here, there. Fucking clown likes everybody do his girlfriend. I'm gonna say the F word. And then the other one, at least I didn't get F'd by my father. Like, it was brutal. But at least he had the audacity how stupid and crazy he is to tell Gilbert Burns' kids and wife to move out of the way so he can jump. And to know when we get to the conference and they ask Dana who decided in their head to no, how'd they say that? Did you see the conversation between Du Plessis and Sean Strickland? He said, yeah. And he said, I don't know which idiot, I don't know what idiot decided to sit them so close to each other. And then he says, I'm the idiot. So Dana had the seat. He always does the seatings. He told everybody. I never thought it was him. I thought there was a guy organized with the seatings. But Dana White, I mean, he does a lot. Like, creates the fights, signs some guys. Dana White's Contender Series, booking events, booking places. I mean, that's why when everybody says they want their own business because they want to have their own schedules, and Dana White starts laughing. He says, "You don't have a schedule." I mean, Dana White must be up like at 4 a.m. at the fucking center in Vegas at 5 a.m. working till fucking 11 o'clock at night. That guy, I mean, has a lot to do. The events, the places, the drug tests. He has to talk with the drug testing agencies. He's got to talk with the government, everything that's reliable for his event. And he has shitload pay-per-views every year. He has shitload fight nights. Plus, I thought, like, okay, you're doing so much already. Plus the war room where you're with the guys that are doing the fights, signing people, doing all of that extra shows, extra shifts, extra this. To find out that Dana White's even doing the seating place. He places people. I mean, he places all the UFC fighters in the first rows that come there. He does the arrangements for the seats, So he's like, he called himself a dumbass because he's the one who placed them so close to each other. And he said, I don't even know why in my head that he did that himself. But no, that was nasty. I don't think nobody's hurt. Strickland left the building anyways. He just left there. He got offered to put him somewhere else, but he said, fuck it, I'm just going to leave. No, he told him to get out, and then he was going to see him somewhere else, and he said, fuck it, he just left the whole arena. But a nice 296. Can't wait to see Sean Strickland, and can't wait to see the Toronto card. Sean Strickland versus Duplessis. Even more hyped. I was sad that Oliveira didn't fight Makhachev, because I really wanted to go to Canada in Toronto myself to see I wanted to see Volkanovski versus Topuria, since it was close from home. I was planning on going there and seeing that fight, because that fight is one of the fights I can't wait for. No, I think O'Malley should have fought Duwalish, Merab, and Vera could have fought Sterling, but he took Vera. Is still gonna be I think it's still gonna be a nice fight versus Cheeto. I think O'Malley wants to knock out Cheeto to prove that maybe that first fight was a fluke, because injury fluke. He wants to knock him out cold. I think he wants to knock out Cheeto cold and prove. I mean, the best out of those three cards will be the Volkanovski versus Topuria card. I can't wait to see those guys go to war. Topuria probably has the best set of skills, in my opinion, right now. In my heart, he has the best set of skills to beat Volkanovski. The only thing I didn't like is he was just getting cocky at the press conference, the face-off. But Volkanovski was saying a lot, Volkanovski with I'm gonna show that kid what a real fighter is. I'm gonna humble that kid. I'm gonna school that kid. That kid beat Emmett, beat the shit out of Bryce Mitchell. The guy's been beating some top guys. The guy hits hard. The guy has excellent boxing. The guy has takedowns. The guy has everything. He could Max Holloway is one of the best. Right under Volkanovski, you have Max Holloway. Max Holloway he has decent maybe takedown defense. Topuria has excellent takedown defense. He's excellent at taking down people. His boxing is excellent. His kicks are good. He's probably the guy with the most skill set, IQ right now, to be a real match and probably a real war with Volkanovski. So I think that fight's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. And all that, guys, I'll let you go. I know it's been a while. I'll try posting more often. Yes, right now we have the holidays. Maybe try posting on... I check if there's a boxing card. Yes, I'm going to post on the Joshua card. Since Deontay Wilder's fighting on that card too. I'm going to post on those fights maybe between the holidays, just to give you a little video between the holidays, and after that we'll wait till a pay-per-view in Toronto or one of the other UFC events that we're having after the holidays, because I don't think we have another UFC event at all, not even a fight night. I don't think there's a fight night between the holidays. I think it's 14th or something of January. So on that, guys, I'm gonna look at some boxings, maybe some one championship. I might do a little video. It's probably not gonna be as long as this. Probably gonna be a little video on if I like the fights and shit like that. Maybe a little 10-15 minute videos. They're gonna be shorter in the holidays. After the holidays, first UFC event, guys, I'll be back to give you guys my update on that. Some PFL, some boxing, I'll try watching some Glory for you guys. Glory Kickboxing, one championship and all that, and I'll try making you some nice podcasts. I'll try also to get